Hello, everyone. Hello. It's Coach Ruth, and welcome to 15 to Life, where we learn, grow, and serve for a peaceful life. In these next moments together, I not only prepare you for the rest of this week, the rest of this month, but for the rest of your life. I know it is late, and as I have made a promise to myself that I would go live every day for the next for 30 days. Probably have about another 15 more days to go, but it's good. I'm loving it. It is late in the day. It's been a long day because earlier in the well, it's Friday, so that's always kind of my clean day where I clean. But Matthew and I also went to Seneca High School, where we were invited to be a part of their career palooza. Hello to whoever is on here, and make sure that if you have not already, that you subscribe to the page, put your name in. Hey, Phyllis, how are you doing? And if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Also, hit that thumbs up button and also hit that notification button so that, yeah, y'all hitting that thumbs up button. Thank you so much. But anyway, but earlier today, Matt and I were invited to Seneca High School to participate in their career palooza. Uh, we were talking about businesses, so there were different people there talking about their businesses. There was a veterinarian, a black veterinarian, talking about his business. There was, hey Harriet, hey Auntie Vivian, I'm gonna give you a call. When I was out when you called, I was out at Seneca when you called. And so I'm going to call you as soon as I get off here. And there was other business owners that were there, and of course Matt was the youngest one that was on the panel, which was great, and he held his own again, so it was wonderful. So, and then now we just finished. We are participating in we're vendors at I think it's the Kentucky Baptist Convention, their Pastors and Leaders Conference. That's next week. So Matt and I are vendors at that. So we are right now. He's getting his packaging up, a lot of his shower steamers, and I just finished getting together a lot of my pillowcases and things. So we're kind of gearing up for that. So I had made, like I said, I promised that I was going to be on every day for 30 days, and I could not go back on my promise, even though it is late in the day. And I'm just glad you guys are on here. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so if y'all hear noise back in the background, that's Matt making noises, getting his stuff together. But I did want to talk to you all briefly. I'm not sure if you all are aware of this whole thing that happened between Shannon Sharpe and Mike Epps. I know many of you all know Mike Epps, comedian. I'm trying to think. He's been in lots of movies. What was it? That movie with Ice Cube. Uh, um, Honeymooners. He was in that and been in a lot of other movies. Again, he's a comedian. And some of you may know Shannon Sharpe, former pro athlete, played for Denver Broncos, who now has the uh, talk show Club Shay Shay that had Cat Williams on it. And most recently, he had Monique on there. And so, with all that brouhaha, okay, so a lot of comedians are, they're really upset with Shannon Sharpe because of all this revelation with Cat Williams and Monique saying all that stuff. So they're feeling like Shannon Sharpe was being really messy. And okay, so you do know. Okay, yes. And so anyway, so Mike Epps in he was doing his comedy show, so he was saying all this stuff about Shannon Sharpe, basically almost alluding, like he was calling him Madea, like Tyler Perry, and they almost like calling him gay and just different things and saying a lot of stuff about him. And somebody videotaped him saying all these things. Well, of course, naturally, social media being what it was or what it is, it got back to Shannon Sharpe. So he has like three different shows. He has like the Club Shay Shay, then he also has a show with another former athlete, Ocho Cinco, I think that's his name. And then he also has something with Stephen A. Smith. If you're in sports, you know all these people's names. But anyway, so on his show with Chad Ochocinco, I think that's his last name, that Shannon Sharpe was really upset, and he was like, if he saw Mike Epps, that he was going to take care of it, like he was going to fight him, and he was saying that it didn't matter, he didn't care about him saying that he was gay or whatever, but he lied on him and all this and that. So he was like really, really mad, and I'm gonna fight you and all this stuff. So then you've had all this stuff going on. Mike Epps saying this stuff, and you got Shannon Sharpe, who's a very big, public figure now. He's saying all these things. So it's a big mess. Well, thankfully, cooler heads prevailed. And Shannon Sharpe then said that he wished that he had handled it differently and not said all those things publicly. And he said that he was going to reach out to Mike Epps, and they were going to handle it man to man, no cameras, and just talk it out. Okay. So then, next thing you know, you did see a picture of Shannon Sharpe and Mike Epps standing together, holding hands. Are you messing up all your stuff? I hope not.
No.
And I'm sorry, Matt's right across from me. So there was a picture of Mike Epps and Shannon Sharpe standing together, shaking hands, I believe. And Shannon was like, I believe, he said, just like I said, there was no cameras, but we're good. We worked it out, and, man to man. And so what I appreciate is that the fact that they handled it without cameras. They didn't go on, any of Shannon Sharpe's shows, and talk about it and blah, blah, blah. They just handled it behind the scenes. And I think that's a good lesson for all of us, that we always, there always are times where someone might make us upset, or they may say something and we get angry, and we may not have, of course we don't have that platform where millions and millions of people are listening to us. However, we do have some people that might be listening to us, whether that's our children, whether that's our nieces and nephews, whether that's our grandchildren. Yeah, they handled it like adults. And so there is always somebody that's listening to you. So if you're having an issue with somebody and you're just going off about that other person, and you can't stand them and blah blah blah, and when I see them I'm gonna speak them out and I'm gonna tell them this and I'm gonna say that, somebody is listening to what you are saying. And so sometimes we just need to shut our mouth and quit running it, but then just go to that person and say, hey, you know what you said hurt me, it hurt my feelings, and can we just talk about it? And maybe that person didn't mean it that way. Maybe somebody just came to you and said, well, I heard, this person was saying that about you. And then you're all upset. And maybe what the person said, maybe they didn't even mean it in that manner. And so I just think the lesson here is to not always run it off at the mouth, and we go on Facebook and be passive aggressive. You'll find a GIF, I think it is, and you'll put it on Facebook, and you'll make it seem where it's like you're saying something about somebody, but nobody really knows who you're talking about unless you're that person, right? And so we're passive aggressive, or we act like we're okay, but then we're really not. And then we're saying all these things in the background, or we're acting out certain ways. And so we just need to, as Phyllis said, we just need to be adults and go to that person and say, this is the issue that I have, and can we talk about it? And then you don't have to go on Facebook and say, all this fake stuff. Don't do that. Thank you guys for giving me thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you're watching, make sure if you have not already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, that like button, and also make sure that you hit that notification button. But yes, but we need to be like adults. We need to be grown women because there's always somebody watching you. Your daughter is watching you. Your son is watching you. And just like with Monique, she was saying all those things about um, Tyler Perry and Oprah and how they need to apologize to her because she's never going to forgive them unless they apologize to her and all this and that she is. And you know what? And because she went out like that, then he posted this big old long 10-minute video about her and about how her relationship with him and how it is fractured. And so then she had to come back and so now she has said, oh, are y'all familiar with this whole thing with Monique and her son? I don't know. And so now, so she was saying all that stuff about Oprah and Tyler. Okay. So then her son made this whole long video about her and how what type of mother she is. With didn't sound like she's a really good mother. So then she responded to him and made this video with she and her husband and responded to him and showed uh, copies of a text messages that she had sent him. Then he responded again on Instagram. I don't know if it was on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, one of those, but he responded again to her publicly. Well, all of that is ugly. All of that. And I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong, whether Monique's right or wrong, or whether her son is right or wrong. The whole thing is ugly that is playing out for millions and millions of people to see. It is ugly. And we need to take that lesson that you don't need to put all your business out there. It is messy. That you don't need to put your stuff out there like that. And that if you got that issue with somebody, you call up that person and you talk to them one on one, or you say, hey, can we meet up? And yeah, no, she need to grow up. That's what she need to do. She need to, no, she needs healing, because and a lot of times we say, and I've said it before, when you just need to move on from it. But you know what? I'm remiss in saying moving on, because you can move on from something but not be healed from it. You're just in a different place. You just move from here to there, but you're still not healed. Yeah, we can move on from something. We can move away from it. But if we have not healed from it, then it's the same. It's just like the saying that says, wherever you go, there you are. So we can go all the way across the country and say, oh, I'm getting away from everybody that I know and I'm leaving this place and whatever. Wherever you go, there you are. So if you're not healed, you can move on all you want to. But if you're not healed from it, you're going to find yourself in the same predicament, because you're going to meet somebody new and meet some new friends, and it's going to be the same thing. Yeah, she's stuck. Okay. So what I would just want to encourage you guys is that, and here's another thing. If God lays it on your heart to reach out to someone and you do that and they don't receive it, then it's on them. You no longer have a responsibility to try and fix that thing. Okay, because you've done what God has asked you to do. And if you're healed from it, then you're good. Now, if they want to hold on to it, let them keep holding on to it. But you can move on. There was a family member for me that there was an issue, and God was like, you asked them for forgiveness. And I was like, but I didn't even do anything. Like, I didn't. And he was like, you go to that person and you ask for forgiveness and you reach out. And I did what God has asked me to do. This is some years ago. And I did what he asked me to do. And the person didn't receive it. And so it's on them. So it's no longer on me. I'm free from it. I'm healed. I did what God asked me to do. I've worked on myself. And so I'm good. And so that's what you got to know. Sometimes just because you reach out to a person and you do it in good faith, they may not always receive that. And if they don't, it's okay. And even, here's another thing, and even if you reach out to them and everybody says, I forgive you, okay, I forgive you, you forgive me, we're good, it doesn't mean that they have to be a part of your life. It just means that you both forgave each other and you're still going on with your life. It doesn't mean that you got to bring them back in to your life. Okay? It just means that you squashed it and you're good. Because remember, somebody is watching you, whether that's your children, your grandchildren. Somebody is watching what you say, how you say it, and I'm just thinking about Monique's other children and grandchildren that she has if they're old enough to see all of that. It's just a mess. Like, why would you want that? And so that's what I'm saying. I appreciate about Shannon Sharpe and Mike Epps that they both said, okay, hey, let's meet. We ain't gonna have no cameras, none of that. We're gonna meet, talk it out, man to man, and squash all of it. And then that's what they did. And they just showed a picture of them standing together. And so that's what we need. That's a wonderful lesson. And I'm not saying they're going to be best friends and hang out or anything like that. Maybe they just said, you know what? We cool. All right. What you said, I'm sorry about what I said. You say you sorry. We moving on. And both of them continue to live their life and do what they do. But then they don't have any hard feelings against that other person. Okay? Anybody got any thoughts about that? I know a lot of you guys will be watching this later. I appreciate it. Make sure that you subscribe. Give me that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up. And then also hit that notification button as well. But I thank you all for being on here. And I know a lot of times in our lives, I know every one of us probably has a person that we could call right now and say, hey, can I talk to you about this situation? We need to talk. Let's get this straight. And when you do that, then it's all for you. And then you're not stressed out, right? You don't need to be stressed out. Don't stress out about it. Just handle it. And because then when you handle it, then it's done, right? It's done. And then you don't have to be sleeping on it and you wake up at night and you're thinking about it and something happens and I'm sorry, I'm looking at my hair. It's a mess. My hair is a mess. It's been a long time. I'm looking at myself. I'm sorry. I just went on. But yeah, so I just want to tell you guys that if you need to make a phone call to somebody, you make that phone call. If you need to talk to somebody, I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong. That's not the point. The point is that you handle it and so that you don't stress out about it. And the more that we think about it and talk about it and ponder on it, the worse that it gets. Okay? And y'all know I want you healed. I want you whole. I don't want you stressed out. I don't want you having a heart attack because you're stressed. I don't want your blood pressure to go up. I don't want any of those things. Okay? I don't want your stomach hurting. I don't want you to have headaches. I want you to be at peace, right? Because we want to have a peaceful life. So I love you all. I do. When I say I love you, I mean that with my whole heart. I love you. I believe in you. I believe in your dreams. But most importantly, I believe in your action. Matthew's making fun of me on the other side of the camera. I believe in your action. So if there's something that you need to get straight with somebody, you get it straight. Okay? You be the one. Thank you for sharing it, Phyllis. Yeah, there is a share button on there because I know somebody needs this. Yes, I know everybody in this whole world got somebody that they need to get something straight with. You do. And if they don't receive it, it's on them. But you be that person. You be that person.
And I know you don't always want to be the bigger person. I get tired of being the bigger person sometimes. I want to just hold on to some stuff and be mad, right? But in the end, it's going to hurt me, right? So I just try to get stuff taken care of. I love you, Harriet, as well. I really do. I love you guys. And like I said, get healed from it. If there's somebody that you need to talk to, you get it straight. And Auntie, if you still on here, I'm going to call you up when I finish. All right? Because I know it's only 8 o'clock down in Nashville, when it's 9 o'clock here. But I'm glad you all are on here at 9 o'clock at night. Yes. And so y'all know I'm going to be getting up in the morning and going running. I've got 6 miles to do, I believe, tomorrow. And so I'll be out doing that. And so you all have a good night. And you all think about who you need to talk to and get it. Okay, Auntie, you still on here. And get it right. Okay? I love y'all. I love you to life. And y'all know here I am trying to get off of here. But y'all have a good night. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye bye.